Wow. Let's let you choose to if you put it in or not. If not, I'm just doing this. Hey dreamers, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm gonna do a story time about something that happened this summer, which was not enjoyable. It's not the first time that it happens after a person gets the vaccine. So if you want to hear me talk about kind of tea of some stuff that happens after you get the COVID vaccine, then keep on watching. But before we start, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the post notification so you wouldn't miss any of my future videos. By liking will help me know if you like my content. So, for no further ado, let's start. This all started when there was the corona, when there was the pandemic. Then finally they made a vaccine, which my whole family, the whole world was so excited. They started with Israel, I believe, and then slowly they started putting it. They first gave it to some like to 60 until 16 up, and then went to 40 and up, and then children. When they finally approved for children and teens, mostly teens at the time, my mom and my parents were so excited. The thing is, when I was little, if you saw my scoliosis story, is that I had scoliosis from cancer, which the scoliosis was so bad that there was no space for my lungs. And only like 6 months before we made the surgery, so my lungs are still getting bigger little by little. But that was not enough. So, and if you get corona, like, it's mostly like people die because you don't have enough air for the lungs and it just attacks the lungs. So that was the big scary thing for us if I get it. So the fact that they approved for children to have the vaccine was overwhelming, and my mom literally, my parents mostly, emailed doctors to get me the approval and like finding ways to get it, because at the time it wasn't actually approved. It was like at a certain age, we didn't know, so we just made sure we like really wanted it. And that was before, and that was literally at the time I made a knee surgery, a leg surgery, as you saw on my Instagram, that I had a leg surgery because due to my cancer in the spine, there's a brain that controls the legs and the arms. That's why this arm is not as functional as this one. My left is more functional than the right, and the same goes to my legs. But the difference is the legs are functional, but the only difference is that they're bent. So we made this whole surgery with the same doctor as I did the spine surgery, Dr. David Feldman, and it went amazing. It hurt a little bit because it's the legs, it's like harder, but we still did it. 10 days later, I did the vaccine. I took the vaccine, and then literally in a week, I started to lose strength in my legs, which literally a day after the surgery, I was able to walk. So that it's not like I didn't have strength from the surgery, because day after the surgery, I already walked and I was able to go home. So that has nothing to do with it. Sorry for clear in the background. She really needs to go pee, and yeah, sorry about that. So in literally a week, I started to lose strength. I used a walker, which you don't sit on, you just walk like a normal walker. You use your legs, you just use the walker for balance. That's what I did. In a week, I started to lose strength. Like, I had to take more breaks. Like, after like 5 steps, I had to take steps, which was unusual for me. And then all of a sudden, I just couldn't stand up. I literally couldn't stand up. A week later, that was 2 weeks later. 2 weeks after this surgery, I had to go back to the doctor. Like, how it's called when you have to go to the doctor?
A checkup.
Checkup. Lost my words. Checkup, and then like he did some stretches. I don't know why he never did stretches, and then I was in this position, and then when I got up, I was like, time to go home. And then my parents were holding one and two, and then I was holding the walker. I tried to put my legs were on the floor, but I just couldn't. I just collapsed if they just let me go. So my dad had to roll me out of the place in a wheelchair. They literally had to ask for a wheelchair, which was a little bit scary. At the time, my brother just graduated college, and his friend invited my family to come to Boston for a graduation party. And I had already talked about like that we know I wouldn't feel well enough to come with them. So anyway, I wouldn't come with them, and my grandma didn't want to leave me alone with Alyssa, or like we didn't want me to be alone, so my grandma stayed. So basically, it was on Thursday or Friday that my family left. And my grandma stayed with me in this apartment. And Alyssa came. Oh, so I suppose, as Alyssa said, sleep with us, like sleep in maybe my bed, I don't know. Bed just to make sure I'm healthy and fine, because I couldn't be independent. I seriously had to have somebody help me move from the bed to the wheelchair. I literally had anxiety every time. I don't know if that's the right word. I was scared that I would fall. But at the same time, I had to go to the restroom, so I wouldn't pee myself. And we thought it was like a we thought it's like something that will pass in the weekend, right? We thought we didn't think it would last.
Right.
And so we got scared. My grandma got scared, of course. By the way, she's a nurse. She was a nurse, like emergency, like ICU nurse, so she knows stuff. So we're like, that's not no. Next day, my parents came back. Well, they got scared, so they took me to the hospital, not the hospital, like the doctor's clinic place. And we're like, oh, it might be like something. I forgot what it was, but it might be like nothing. So long story short, they did some tests, and it turned out I stayed there the whole day. So after that, we still didn't know why I'm not walking. Whether I'm still not walking. So he told us to go to another hospital to, I forgot the name of it, that specialist. Alyssa. I'm saying Alyssa because she's the editor. Then told us, oh, we can't do anything. Like, there is MRI. They did an MRI. And the whole shebang, like all the tests. And they're like, there is a solution, but we're not 100% sure that it would work. So we were like, fine. And then they let us go home. But then, so our neighbor, my friend's mom's boyfriend, is a doctor at that hospital. He's like the head doctor, I think. And he was like, no, oh, by the way, I forgot also the name. And like, no, I'll make them give it to you. So they did. It actually worked. The medicine that they gave me, like, it was Thrivy, of course. Fun, right? And a day or two before, we had our tickets to flight to Israel because I haven't been there in 2 years. Which you saw my vlogs, me being in Israel. That was so fun. I hope to be there next year too, or even sooner. So they did, and like it takes like 2 weeks or something like that. I'm still not walking. So basically this man saw me at the time before we decided to move here. Like we did already decide, it's not my decision. Like before we officially moved here, he came up to my mom like, oh, I work with military people that get bruised and I help them like get strength and all that, and I think he can help me. So my mom like said thank you and then like put it on her phone and she forgot. Then before I say this, we did have another physical therapist, a woman that I had for like so many years in Israel, but it just turns out at the time when we went back to Israel to like for vacation, she was all booked. So then my mom remembered that guy. So since then I went to him and he's like, yeah, I can help you. And so I got trained at his place every day for an hour and a half, even another half an hour, not another hour on the standard, like, and then slowly when I was in Israel, started to have some strength. I was able to stand by myself. So before I went to Israel at the time, I had always this walker, butt cushion, like
a bicycle seat.
A bicycle seat on it, and then to hold that hold.
Oh, like a seatbelt, a buckle.
I just forgot the name. Seat belt to it. So normally it's supposed to be used like that. You can use your arms while having a walker, but because it has like a bicycle seat, it's good because I'm technically sitting, but in the same time I'm still moving my legs as if I'm walking, which that also helped, which I'll put a video. And yeah, slowly only I started to get strength from physical therapy and everything, and from all the time that I couldn't walk, I was paralyzed, was all because of one vaccine. Oh, by the way, I didn't get the second shot, so that was even more shocking. So yeah, there's like percent that it happens to people. Some people I know have a heart attack or like wouldn't walk for like only a week and that's it. So there is like the aftermath, if I can say, like percent that it happens. So I just want to put that as an awareness. And yeah, if there's some stuff that I miss, Alyssa would add, I'll be adding afterwards. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you like it. I hope it gives you some information of stuff that weren't really talked about the vaccine. And yeah, before we end this video, make sure to follow me on all my socials, on my Instagram and on my TikTok. Also, my Twitter will be down below in my link. So yeah, see you next time, dreamers. Bye.
It's kinda crazy, the kinds of things life throws at you.